Thanks, mate.
That's so nice.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather.
You guys need a hand?
Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm blue and fire and white.
Need a hand, mate?
Thanks, mate.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer for up here.
Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather.
You guys need a hand?
Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm blue and fire and white.
Need a hand, mate?
Thanks, mate.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer for up here.
Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather.
You guys need a hand?
Sail upon the stream.
Well, it's a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to North Hobart Oval and what will be an action-packed day. It is the Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund Old Scholars Grand Final Day, and it is an absolute cracker. There is no breeze to talk of. There are people flooding in. Of course, we are capped at 1,900 odd people. T-shirts are on the ready. It is Andrew Silver Fox Hopwood in the Peter Sharp Tower. And I am very, very pumped for what we are expecting. Two very, very good games. I also welcome up here in the Peter Sharp Tower my co-commentator and under-12 Trevellyn Primary Premiership player, Mark Baldock. Mark, welcome on board.
Thank you very much, Hobby, and an absolute pleasure to be here on what is going to be a fantastic day of football, no doubt.
Well, there's no doubt about it, Mark. I know that you follow this league quite closely. You have three boys that attend the Hutchins school, and you did go round in your youth with that particular club. But mate, without a doubt, the best two clubs have made it to the grand final. If we look back through the season, both finishing on 48 points each. It is Hutchins, of course, who are the reigning champions, just got over Uni last year, and in the previous encounter it was a fast finishing Hutchins, I think, kicked the last three goals to come over the top. What do you think we will be expecting today in this big game?
Like they have been all season, Hoppy, it's going to be very close today. Right down to the wire, I suspect fast, free-flowing football. However, the game's going to be won or lost in the middle.
There's no doubt about that. And also interesting to note, these are quite youthful teams for Old Scholars, aren't they? And back in the day, you know, quite often people would move back from being longevity with senior players, and there was a little bit of age involved. But when we look over at the age mix, it is very youthful and very fit-looking teams for both the University Football Club and the Hutchins Football Club.
Yeah, Hoppy, look, you look at the Hutchins list, and I think there's lucky to be more than 15 games for any one individual player, most of them in single figures for games. And, you know, youngish, well, yeah, very young teams on both sides. I'd say University probably, as far as game time, a little bit more experienced.
Yeah, very much so indeed. So we can see now that the players are going straight into their positions. But gee whiz, Mark, isn't it wonderful to be here at this particular ground? You know, we do say it every time. I think we're very, very privileged to have this inner city ground that people, it's like a great amphitheatre as well, isn't it?
Oh, there's some mysticism about this. Is it metaphysics, I think what I'm saying?
There you are, yes.
It is the religious centre of football for Tasmania. I love this place.
There is no doubt about that. So as you can see on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Hutchins Football Club wearing the white shorts, both clubs in those black Guernseys, but quite distinct, if you can see. And the magenta socks, I also think, will be the clear thing that you will look for as well. So we are really looking forward to a fantastic day of football, and also hats off to our umpires out there, Tiana Bizanella, Matthew Phillips, who is mic'd up, Josh Clifford as well. So the umpire now throws that one up. They go up well. There is Douglas, who goes up for Hutchins. Of course, he is the reigning best and fairest as well this season, young Spiro Douglas. And again, another ball up. Douglas working hard, sizable young fella, good, strong body. Ball in dispute, and already the umpire coming up. So these are interesting times, Mark, aren't they? And these few centre bounces, the boys will just sort of want to feel their way into the game, won't they?
Yeah, it's as I said before, won and lost in the centre, and moving the ball quickly into the forward line, of course.
And there was good movement from University, which now comes over to Longerman. Nice teaming up here by Hutchins. As you can see, fleet of foot. They moved that down forward. Lovely spoil from the hind. Gee, that's good football to run and back up as it comes back to Sayers. Sayers goes back inside the 50. And if you play in front, Mark, you get the reward, and you'd love to see your forwards do that sort of thing, pushing back hard, and has drawn the free kick.
Oh, absolutely. I love the running on the wing there by Hutchins, so getting to the fall of the ball fast, inside 50 entries. You get it to a 50-50, and you increase your odds of the turnover, well, not the turnover, but the possession or drawing the free kick.
So it is Hargrave now. You can see just nice and steady, trying to take the most of this inside 50, which is the first one for Hutchins on the wrong side for a left footer. He goes back, and I tell you what, he's done that with aplomb, and he's put that one right through the middle. Lovely kick on goal by Jordan Hargrave. Another thing I have to say, Mark, is I love a forward that goes back and doesn't look side to side. They say it's my responsibility to take the shot, and as you can see here on the Mood Food replay, just adjusted the socks here and took great responsibility and kicked through the ball.
Didn't he do everything right?
So here we go there. We can see the follow through, the big kick. That had the Royce Harts about it, and you can see the big kick that went straight up. And that's a lovely start there to the Hutchins Football Club. Back in the middle as the umpire again. It's a good contest through that centre bounce. It is McShane who picks up. Dispossessed now, and here come...
No, he
I think
didn't
it was
have...
University. What's happened there, Mark?
Yeah, it's a holding the man there.
So it is Hutchins. They get the blinkers off and they come out wide towards Ellis. Ellis now chipping short. I like this transfer of players. They further afield towards Kenny. Kenny rounds his mark, and here is their second entry. Up they go. That was a very good leap. Can't take the disposal. There is Miller. Good tackle, and that's ferocious work by the backman. You can see there's a big appeal by my Tuzek, but...
I love the work off the ball, well, at the ball with Jordan Hargrave. I love an aggressive forward who fights to keep the ball in the forward 50.
Well, of course, there's a position really out there now, isn't it, for that defensive forward, and I'll get your view on that in a few minutes as it breaks now for Hutchins as they stream in. Oh, that was an opportunity lost.
Oh, dear.
Alistair Sayers broke very nicely there, Mark. He read the ball where, as we see here on the Mood Food replay, but just... We'll put that down to the hard pressure that came from Davis Cordwell, but that was one they probably should have stitched up.
Make your most of your opportunities. Got to.
You've got to win grand finals, there is no doubt about that. So it is University coming deep from their defensive area, coming out looking for Davis Cordwell, who put that good tackle on. Stokeman there comes up. Nice play by University as they try and transfer play. They can't do so. Coming in there is Nettlefold, showing a good amount of strength, and that ball has gone over. So it will be a ball in, as we can see down there on the bench. It is 4 minutes gone in the 2021 Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund Old Scholars Grand Final. Wherever you are joining, we've just had a tweet and from Andrew Downey, the CEO there of My Estate. So we welcome you, Pants, on board as well. So there'll be many people who won't be able to get in here that'll be watching. And it is now University going to go back and have a shot on goal. And that was really strong play there by Ned Rumney there, Mark.
Yeah, dispossessed the defender, unfortunately, for Hutchins. And a free kick, I'd say, 20 metres out.
Gee whiz, if you're the coach, wouldn't you love to see your forwards go like that? So let's just see how University go on the set shot, and that one just leant back a little bit, Mark, didn't he?
Not as confident as Hutchins were at the other end.
There's no doubt about that. Jordan Hargrave kicked right through the ball. That was a beautiful tackle there by Ned Rumney, and didn't quite kick through. So as we check the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, it reads Hutchins 1-1-7 to University, that one behind, but we can see on our possession laptop it's very, very even as Hutchins, big, long, raking kick. It goes very close to a fleet-footed Ruben Nettlefold. And Nettlefold's moving around the ground really well, Mark, isn't he? He's sort of that two-way running.
He's playing on the wing, isn't he?
Yep.
He's doing a great job covering in about 150 metres there, both in defence and attack.
And that's a really important way of the modern footy. And this is what we spoke about before the coverage started, that both of these teams are probably the fittest going around in the Old Scholars Reserves division. So we're expecting a pretty good standard, as that was good work there by Bartolovic for University to clear it. But Hutchins, a little bit ambitious. We didn't mind that, and I'm sure Coach Chugg wouldn't mind that as well, to try and get that ball moving into the forward line. High hands. You can see here the intensity is really building out there, and at the bottom of the pack is Harry Black. He is beset upon there with some fierce tackling. So that was nice. I think that was Jackson Grubb as well. So it's pretty intense. There is, again, Douglas trying to get that knockout. You can see it's quite intense in and under. And again,
some early nerves, Hoppy.
Yeah, very much so. I'd like to see, it's going to be interesting to see, it's in and close at the moment, isn't it, here? But I'm just looking for that run on the outside, if they can get that quick possession and see who the runners are. And here is one of those fleet-footed people. So that's what I just spoke about, Mark. That's what they'll try and do, is grab it hard on that inside and look for those fleet-footed fellows, just like they're like pointing to get it on the outside. But on that particular occasion, Hutchins were awake up to it, and so good defensive work there by Hutchins.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. They're pretty even around the stoppages, both these teams at the moment.
They certainly are. And that was Whitney who picked that one up. And again, nice tackle being applied. So you know it is a grand final. They are playing for keeps. So it is Bastic who decides, I'll take it. Nice big jump over the top. Can't quite bring it in. It's Kenny for Hutchins who got that quick disposal. And there is a big, strong punch that goes to the sidelines.
Yeah, there's been a clash of heads, I think, there with James Padgett is down, a university player also.
Yeah, OK, that's Stockman as well. So the boys were going in pretty hard. Thank you for that. And so I think they're both up and about now.
We've got an interchange here.
So we can see Nimiani has just come on now. That's an interesting number 0 there, Mark. Who's been your favourite AFL, VFL player, number 0 in the past?
You give me a moment on that one.
Nimiani has come on, and he's another one who runs very, very quickly. He'll be very noticeable. There is Alif. He's now assisted as it comes back towards Stockman, who's been, that's a beautiful smother and punch defensive work over the back. And again, Mark, you'd love to see your defenders just chopping across like that to punch in front of your leading forward.
That was beautiful defence play there. You know, make a contest. You've got to make a contest.
Was in a really good position. Decided to just run across the front of the pack and belted that ball into the boundary line. So nice play as Hutchins picked that one up. Ball in dispute. It's inside the University 50 as they take that quick kick. Looking for a big mark, and gee whiz, the bigger body, and here he is again. I tell you what, this is going to be an interesting challenge. That's, I think, Rumney again, as we see here on the Mood Food replay, Mark. What did you think there of Liam Blue's defensive work?
If you get caught behind with someone that's taller than you, guess what the outcome's going to be?
Yeah, I'll talk more on that in just a few moments as Rumney comes in. He has a second shot. This one has gone straight through the middle. Lovely kick on goal. He's learnt from the last one. There was no wind to speak of. But when you are a smaller body like Liam Blue there, how is it that you would like to see a defender play on a bigger opposition like Ned Rumney?
Oh, he's got to be in front. He's got to be arm across, doesn't he?
Yep.
You know, and he's got to be trying to push him away from the corridor. To push him out wide, push him deeper towards the city end there as much as you can.
So would you suggest that it's arm across, get that front position, and then force your way back into the player so you draw a free kick? Is that more so they're reaching over the top? Is that what you're suggesting?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's interesting to hear that we'll watch that with great interest, because that's, for me, a good matchup as far as if you were University. So Matuzek would be pretty happy with that one, I would have thought. So it's something that Matthew Chugg, the coach of Hutchins, will keep a close eye on. As is 10 minutes gone in the first quarter. As the boundary umpire throws that one in very even, as you can see on the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard. It is 1-1-7 apiece, as this will now go back. There's a bit of confusion. I thought just for a minute Oliver Whitley was going to take that free kick, but I think it was touched directly off the boot. And so now it will be another boundary throw in. You can see there just jostling. It is doing all that bullocking work is Spiro Douglas at the bottom, and there is again Nimiani, who we mentioned before. He's very, very fleet-footed, new to the game, and then It's another stacks on the mill. So it hasn't really opened up yet, Mark. We are expecting it to be a reasonably free-flowing game. But at this stage, it's locked in and it's sort of almost rolling packs.
Yeah. They're really matching up at each other very, very closely around the stoppages, all the on-ballers. I think Spiros Douglas has probably got a little bit better of the tap-outs yet, but the University are really on to any of the Hutchins runners.
So this is where you'd love to see one of the teams try and get this one. That's the one, to try and get it out. And that punch now, let's see if that can break this one up. As in the defensive area, that was Alexander for University that goes down that wing position, just off to the side. And might have been touched. No, it hasn't. So that free kick will go back to Nettlefold, has it? Bit of confusion. It was touched. My apologies. And it was Jordan Cougar who was shaping up to take the free kick. Of course, he had a cracking grand final last year, Mark, as we recall. He was best on ground as the big man comes out. Gavin Shaw there for University, the vice-captain, trying to bullock his way through. But again, it's very, very tight. This is reminding me of a State of Origin rugby league game where it's all the big men around and they're just sort of facing off and it's contest after contest. Although it's not free-flowing, Mark, it's quite taxing on the body, isn't it?
Yeah.
Each contest that you go down on the ground, it takes a little bit out of you.
I tell you now, Hoppy, it's the midfield. This might sound like an obvious comment, but the midfield that muscles the most today is going to win this game.
You can see here, sorry, Mark, but just a little bit of show of strength as there is just one after the other, and you just can't do that. As Liam Blue in one way, you think hats off for coming to help your mate, but you just can't grab them, Mark, like that and throw them aside. So the free kick now will go to Ned Rumney, who we know can kick a goal, but unselfishly has put it to the top of the square as they go up, and that is a cracker of a mark. Gee, I love the way that was set up, and Sean Worker is going to go back and have a shot on goal. So they just need to settle down a bit here, Mark, the Hutchins.
A little bit undisciplined.
So now it is Worker. We can see what's in front of him. He's 15 metres out and he is absolutely thrilled with his kick. And those big men too for University are going to be a bit of a headache. As you can see that ball that came over, I think it was Gavin Shaw who was at the front, and he looked over and he thought, oh, I've been outmarked. But then he was, you can see the smile on his face as he turned around and saw the skipper, Sean Worker, who came over the top. And that could be very, very crucial for those entries to have two very, very good marking options, Mark, for University.
Yeah, obviously the instruction is kick it to the top of the square and let our bigger boys have a go at it.
It was really disciplined footy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because some teams would think, yeah, I might be able to make it, and how many times do you see the ball just float across and get pushed through? But on that particular occasion, as we can hear on the effects microphone, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching us through Duff TV here on the Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund Old Scholars Grand Final, it's great atmosphere. The crowd is building, but you don't need too many, do you, Mark, at this great ground to get a fantastic atmosphere?
Yeah, acoustically it works very well, doesn't it?
It does. So, ball goes back in dispute. Lovely hands here by Harry Black. Comes back over. University with the ball. No one to go to, but just getting it out of that danger area. Well picked up by Bosworth. Bosworth showing a bit of toe. And here's this area where Hutchins have been slightly brittle, but that was brilliant work by Liam Blue to come right over the top with a big jump and punch. And that's a strong mark working their way back. So now coming out wider, and a nice lead by Sam Kenny. Kenny quickly gets off the mark. You can hear getting a few instructions. This is what I love about the Old Scholars division, is the buy-in, Mark, from the Old Scholars indeed. So you can hear a lot of their comrades in arms who are ex-uni and Hutchins students here to support their teams.
So much,
I just love it.
I do too. There's so much community in the Old Scholars and the supporter group, which unfortunately has been found wanting, I think, is in a lot of footy these days.
Yeah, so there is no doubt about that. So it is a strong tackle trying to and being held up. I think that was Jordan Cougar again. He's the sort of player, if I played on, you never get bored because you just look back and read his arms. Just take a texture out, Mark, and just keep yourself occupied.
The moving newspaper.
Yeah, decent set of arms on him. Does a bit of work in the gym, I would have thought, as a strong work there by Elliot Noy to come in and for support for Hutchins, as now it comes out. And this is what I'd like to see a little bit more of, is kicking to that open space. Nice work there as Davis Caldwell picks it up and tried to take off, but can't get away from his Hutchins counterpart. So it will again be another ball in. It's reasonably low scoring, bit of an arm wrestle at this stage. It is the grand final, so just feeling their way. You'd expect it to open up. No doubt about that. Is coming back in towards the middle. Good dispossession. I like that handball. Good backing up as it comes in again, and leading out is Sean Worker, and he's providing a really handy lead and looks very dangerous, Mark, and this is his second mark within the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, I can see the university midfield getting the ascendancy just slightly around those stoppages on their half-forward line, being able to release it into the corridor.
Well, it's going to be dangerous if you can get it into these big men as Worker. It's going to be right on his limit. He drives it high and long and just off to the side, as happens so often, doesn't it, Mark? If it's just on your limit, you tend to lose that little bit of accuracy.
It's like my golf shot, Hoppy. Just a little bit of a draw on that.
Just a little bit of a draw on that one, no doubt about that. Well, I wouldn't know that. Mine are just straight down the high diddle. I can always find them because they're off on the ground. Don't get them up in the air too much. As you can see here, a bit of a
falcon. Isn't that falcon? That's what they call it.
Yeah, just inadvertently, I think that one copped the Hutchins young man. I think it was
number 24.
Sure. It was it? Okay. Just fair on the old hooter. We'll keep an eye on that young man there. But anyway, ball is back. That's a strong tackle. It was Gavin Shaw who knew he was going to be...
It was 34 that was hit.
It was Harry Black,
Harry Black took it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Brave play there by Gavin Shaw to take that ball. When that ball sits up like that, Mark, you know you're going to be beset upon by someone. So it takes courage to get your hands on the onion.
Absolutely.
Talking of which, there was good play by University. I like it when the umpires pay the player going the football. There is another strong effort to Mark that just didn't quite come off by Ned Rumney. But I tell you what, Mark, Rumney and Worker look very, very dangerous up forward for University.
They're obviously the command is to, or the instruction is to kick it to the top of the square and let the big fellas try and clunk it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were, I mean, it hasn't proved huge dominance yet on the scoreboard pressure. But if you were in Matthew Chugg's boots, would you be tempted to maybe place someone down to stand in front of that ball coming in from the midfield?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
So more that sort of Glenn Archer type position. I was fascinated in an interview I read with him in one of his early games. He used to stand in front of Mick Martin when the likes of Plugger Locker were coming up, talk about brave, and he used to have to back there. And so I don't know who's going to put their hand up to do it, but that's the sort of role that you probably need if that ball's going to come in consistently. So here is that kick. Not a great deal of purchase on that one. So well played and mopped up by Henning for Hutchins. Another handball in dispute. And this is more what's happening. That might have been taken just fractionally high, I think. Which the umpire's seen that one, Mark. Is that how he's played? I think he has. So now it is a free kick.
Now, what you're saying before about University moving into their forward line, you know, if they better be careful. If that's their only trick, you're right. You're going to put someone back into that corridor to drop back every time, and that's coming from slow entry into the forward 50.
So we can see that, which our viewers won't, Mark, as soon as University were dispossessed of that, you can see that their forwards have come out, so it's very open behind the ball if they happen to get it in, although there is one or two Hutchins players now, they are starting to man up. I'd like you to keep your eye on that as the umpire throws it off. Good tap out there in dispute. At the bottom is Verrill for University, and here comes that quick entry as leading out to the ball was Shaw, and as soon as he's taken on it, it's a really close one-on-one game. It's more, not so much the zones, Mark. This is your proper footy.
It's full.
You know, you go out there. It's the full court press like you're about. You know, it's like if there's someone there, we don't own the footy, be accountable and get on them. And I don't mind that sort of style of footy to play.
Yep.
So it is Hutchins now who, through a succession of handballs, moved the ball up through the corridor area. Here is one of their speedier players just running onto it, was Ruben Nettlefold, and he wasn't able to take clean possession.
They call him the road runner, I think, Ruben Nettlefold.
Yeah, well, he's got the road runners about him, hasn't he? As he really fleet-footed, worked really, really hard. As you can see, it's now in dispute. Well played by Stockman for University, who he knew, like in all grand finals, you have to have that spatial awareness around you. And here's a big opportunity for Hutchins to break as they kick toward the goal. And how many times, Mark Baldock, do you see that? One team dominate, and then on the quick transition of play, that ball spilled out. And I think it went to Bastic, and he has... Is it Bastic? No, I apologise. It might have been Sayers who's put that one through.
It's one of the laws of football.
It is, isn't it? Well, have a look at this
all the time.
On the Mood Food replay. Have a look at this. Just this quick entry that came over the back, clean hands, and I loved the awareness there by Sayers to really quickly move on, square the shoulders up and kick truly. So
good
as
decision.
we check
Good
the
decision.
Brighton's best bakehouse scoreboard, Mark, it is Hutchins 2-1-13 trailing University 2-2-14. And so the reality is, Mark, it's not, you don't win a game from time with possession of the football. It's what you do with the footy. And that was terrific work by Hutchins.
That was a mixture of good decisions and good football movement, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And we did speak about that before, that both of these teams look to move the ball and run it as quickly as is humanly possible. And that's the danger. So Hutchins really did a good job there. It was that counter-attack. They kept the ball in and hard and close. And when they broke out, they really went hard. So hats off to them. So a very, very nice goal indeed. As the umpire throws that one aloft, and we knew that this was going to be close, and it is living up to expectations. 1 point the difference. It is grand final day here at North Hobart Oval. It is the Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund Old Scholars Grand Finals. And the first game, as you are watching here on Duff TV, Hutchins with their black Guernsey with the big yellow or gold line and magenta trimming against University with more the corporate colour now, Mark, isn't it? Back in the day when I played in this Old Scholars, it was more the rainbow colours, but back to that as
look at this.
It is Rawlings. Rawlings with that lovely mark came on. That was good defensive work as that ball came over towards Ellis. It spoiled. But just in the nick of time, that was great defensive work by University, Mark.
They stopped a certain goal then. Well done, Uni.
It certainly was, as some of the players just introducing themselves to each other, maybe just organising a beer after the game. As we just check the scoreboard here, courtesy of Brighton's best bakehouse, that shows Hutchins 2-1-13 are leading University 2-2. Sorry, a trailing University 2-2-14. For Hutchins, it was Sayers who kicked that last goal in the quick break, and Jordan Hargrave who kicked that first goal. And for University, Sean Worker and Ned Rumney. So interesting enough, Mark, the difference in the two teams was University looked to get it to their big power forwards, and when they did get it up and get it in there quickly, they didn't let them down. Conversely, Hutchins were very dangerous on the break. So the first one came when Hargrave marked, and the second one with Sayers. So are you noticing anything between the two teams in these early stages of the game?
Yes, I am. I'm seeing Hutchins making most of the movement of the ball. They're getting a lot of movement through Ruben Nettlefold on the City side wing there in that quarter. As again, it is an arm wrestle of the midfield at the moment. They're all manning up well. I don't think one of either ruckman are on top yet. And I'm just seeing Hutchins just been able to hold University up with any flow of play, but then, as we saw in that last quarter, on the rebound and the turnover, Hutchins are really releasing their runners and getting, for my mind, a better forward entry.
Yeah, very much so. And we will continue this conversation after the break, but it's fascinating. The two big forwards like Ned Rumney, the 22-year-old 14 gamer, and Sean Worker, again 23-21 gamer. really they are building from within. But we'll talk more on that in a few moments, Mark, as we're going to take our first break here for Grand Final Day, ladies and gentlemen. We hope that you are enjoying the coverage coming to you via Duff TV. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a few moments.
Yeah, you're good to go, mate. Cheers. That's so nice.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather.
You guys need a hand?
Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm brewing fire and wide. Need a hand, mate?
Thanks, mate.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer for up here.
Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather.
You guys need a hand?
Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm brewing fire and wide. Need a hand, mate?
Thanks, mate.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer for up here.
Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to North Hobart Oval for the second quarter here in the 2021 Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund Old Scholars Grand Final in the Reserves Division. It is Hutchins playing University. They've had a cracker of a season, both of these teams, as we said before, finishing top two positions on 48 points apiece. As it's been a very, very entertaining opening to this game. They were just starting to feel their way, and a couple of good breaks there by Hutchins towards the end. They were really asked a lot of questions, Mark, weren't they, of their defensive line, I would have thought.
They certainly were, and I think, you know, apart from a couple of excellent marks from the University forwards, I think the Hutchins defence stood up very, very well.
So the ball comes back inside, as we can see. Hutchins are first to it. Good spoil. Nicely picked up there by Rawlings, but he was beset upon by the defenders of University, and that's a nice tackle. Tackling so far, Mark, has been a bit of a feature in this grand final. It's been of a high quality.
Yeah, they're out there. They're out there to take the game on. I think every player on the field is after their own ball, and if you can't get your own ball, then tackle the man with it.
Very much indeed. And as you would expect in the old scholars in this Division 2, you know, if there is a fumble or anything like that, it does start to form a pack. But this is a very high quality game. But you will expect it to be quite a fierce game in relation to hard on the body until it opens up. And then who has got the courage to run? That'll be the interesting thing to see. Both teams have the capacity to score quickly, and we saw that with Hutchins, the way they came down just a few minutes ago late in that quarter, and that was Alistair Sayers who was dispossessed by Hutchins, and that was a front-on tackle. So again, lovely play and good reward that comes to Henning. Henning, just nothing on. Will he go on the 45? No, he doesn't. He decides to go directly down the ground towards centre half forward. Big spoil. Nice work there by Alexander for University. Just what you want for your defenders to do. Big, strong punch. Committed to it. Out goes Worker. He can't take possession. Again, that ball is in dispute, close towards the line. Here is University who come back inside. That can be reasonably dangerous. Could set them up. Comes back over. Big, strong play. That was good play by Henning again.
He's still got his head over the ball. Beautiful. Oh.
That's what you want to see, Mark, isn't it? When you want to pick that ball up, show some courage and get your head over the ball. And so far, the umpires have paid the person who is prepared to do that.
For my mind, Hoppy, Hutchins just getting a little bit of ascendancy now in the rucking. Jordan Hargraves won last 4 taps.
Yep.
Hutchins, University got to watch that.
So it's interesting because Douglas, the reigning best and fairest in this division, has come. That's a big mark over the top. We'll have a look at that again on the Mood Food replay. Mark Baldock. That's as good a mark as you ever want to see. That was Wayne Carey-esque.
Oh, I've got a tear in my eye.
As he came right over the top. Brilliant. That was Rawlings, who just crashed and bashed and went straight over, and a beautiful mark.
Well, they say that Dom Rawlings loves to kick a goal, so let's see what he does.
Rawlings, he'll be right on the limit. Oh, again. That is tremendous work there on the last line of defence from the University. We can see why both of these teams finished 1 and 2, Mark. That was high standard. We see there on the Mood Food replay. It was Adam Alexander, who is a bit of a whippet. He got great vertical leap. And up he went, and clean hands, but it's coming back with interest. And that is a very, very strong mark, just owning the territory, got body contact and went back and took a great mark. That's a good forward mark there, Mark Baldock.
Lovely ball movement by the Hutchins midfield there. You know, 3 or 4 handballs, just changed the angles up, allowed that forward entry. Beautiful.
So it is Alec Bester, the skipper, coming back there. You can see what is in front of him, so he'll kick this from 25 metres out. Oh, that's wasteful from such a wonderful mark. I like it when you see 2 big, strong men face off, and the way he held it to get to the fall of the ball mark was really good forward craft, but unfortunately for Hutchins, he didn't capitalise on that one. So a bit of a let-off there for University.
A couple of easy misses from both sides.
You really want to take your opportunities when you're only 20 metres out from goal. So now it is coming back again, playing in front. So whereas before this end we were saying this is exactly how University were playing, Mark. Well, I tell you what, this young man here, Rawlings, has taken a couple of good strong marks, and you can see he's pretty strong through the core and through those legs. He's got a big strong fella. So here he goes on that 45, kicks towards the goals. It's just coming across, I think, and through for the minor score, but they are looking very dangerous now. It's almost, this is exactly how University played in that last quarter, Mark, and so Hutchins have had the opportunities, but they're being the wasteful ones now.
Is the domain end the scoring end, Hoppy. It seems that way at the moment.
Well, it does seem that way. There's no breeze at all to speak of, as that's nicely picked up by Sammy Kenny, who goes back in towards Nettlefold. It comes across, and again, I think that was Sayers who just had that quick snap on goal. Well, momentum's a funny thing in footy, Mark. It is all with Hutchins at the moment, and they are not punishing University at all.
They are not. You've got to make the most of your opportunities. Do you think the Hutchins midfield's getting on top now?
Very much so, and you're keeping a very close eye on that. They are getting the ball, and it's repeat entries. As this man Bastick, he has taken a couple of cracker marks. I like that. He decides to quickly look back inside to
McShane,
towards McShane, who was nice and free, who passed it again to Padgett. Not gaining any great meterage gain, but coming on from a different angle. University have good numbers back there. Comes to Capelli, who quickly gets that handball out. So now they can try and release as they come down the side, but standing in front is Blue.
Yep.
Tell you what, Mark, the standard of marking so far has been from the top shelf.
You can tell it's a dry day. You can. No wind.
No wind, and the big men are really standing tall as that ball was quickly kicked off the ground in an attempt to gain valuable meterage, and it will be another boundary throw in. So again, welcome to everyone that's sending us all our well wishes. We know that I reckon this ground would have been all but packed to capacity, so with the COVID restrictions, you have got the best seat in the house at Duff TV in your lounge chairs. So we hope you're going to be enjoying the coverage of the Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund Old Scholars Grand Final Day, coming to you from North Hobart Oval. So
Sam Henning yet again head over the ball, holding it into their forward line for Hutchins. Hutchins have got the ascendancy at the moment, Hoppy.
Just for a minute there, you're quite right, Mark. I was waiting for that umpire's call. It was could have all but been a 50-50. Was it too high or not? But I think he's paid the right decision. We can see here that not a lot of opportunity to dispose of it.
No, it's a pressure game, definitely.
So now that ball is in dispute out on the wing position. And again, good umpiring so far. We haven't really noticed the umpires at all, Mark, so that's always a great thing. Doing a very, very good job.
They are doing a good job.
So that is Noy, who's all wrapped up, but he's good enough to go back in, Elliot Noy, and get that quick kick.
Spiros Douglas has just come on for Hutchins.
Okay, well,
here he is up to the ball now.
Here he is, the big man going back. That's certainly shows a lot of courage. He came up through the ranks through Sandy Bay Lions, and then of course was a Hutchins schoolboy, and he played against one of my sons, young Henry, and I've just got a message from Henry. We'll send a cheerio to him, who's watching with his mates up there on the Gold Coast. So
g'day,
we know he'll be very tuned in. He's a old Virgilian, so he's very keen on the next game.
Is it true it's the 25th year anniversary of the senior premiership?
Yeah. So there we go, down. It's great that we've got the cameras all over the ground.
Alec
from
Bastick
ground.
playing on there. Oh,
gee whiz, that's a beautiful kick and mark, and coming out taking that one is Hargrave. We know he can kick a goal. I reckon this will be pretty much on his limit as he goes back, and just a good mark. Well, it wasn't a good mark, it was a ripping mark there.
It's like Hutchins have decided to play like University was in the first quarter.
It's absolutely beautifully observed. It is exactly the change. So with this kick, he's gone the short pass, but on that particular time, didn't quite get it to where he wanted to, and University were able to just move in and chop that one out. It is a dead set arm wrestle here at North Hobart Oval, and this is where both teams have been dangerous on the turnover. It is Hutchins hurt University on the turnover, but that was good defensive work by Hutchins. Now they try and switch the ball as the forwards come out. There is Kenny.
Oh,
here it comes. It's a 2-on-1. It went right in the middle towards the University. We can get the hands over the top here. Lovely work. So this one you can put your glasses down. It is Jordan Hargrave who has slotted that one through, and I think what happened there, Mark, that University all went into offensive mode. When the turnover, all their backs went out, and look what happened.
Beautiful, beautiful choice coming off the back line to hit it into the corridor there in the centre.
Lovely
by
handball
defence, yeah.
by Alistair Sayers. And what I like about that thing there, Mark, as soon as you give off the handball, you either run forward to give an option or you push back to block. And he did exactly that, which gave Jordan Hargrave the easiest of goals, just to waltz in and slot that one through for his second, as we check the Brighton's best Bakehouse scoreboard, which reads Hutchins 3-4-22 to University 2-2-14.
You can thank Liam Blue for that goal for Hutchins there. As you move that ball from the half-back line, how often does a goal eventuate with a quick move from the half-back line?
Very much so. I'm with you. I know, been coaching this footy caper for 24 odd years.
You're not that old, eh?
Well, exactly right. But mate, I always pick the half-back flank first. For me, it's crucial. It's the first port of call to stop, but moreover than not, it's where you set up all your attacking drive.
I agree. And you know, watching the junior footy, it's the same. So much potency comes out of strong running halfbacks.
Talking of which, there is nice work by University. I think that was Grubb who pushed on very nicely from that wing position. Ripping young fella Jackson Grubb. Comes from Monarchy Bay, played his junior footy down there at Lauderdale, and here he is plying his trade with the University Football Club. Good cricketer too, so hope he has a cracker game, like we hope that everyone has a really good game, and that's what we want to see, a good, fair contest.
Sam Henning off and Harry Black's come on for Hutchins to the interchange.
I'm also interested to see what can you see, any positional changes or how Hutchins are playing. As soon as they do have the ball in the opposition 50 mark, they certainly press high, don't they, Hutchins?
They certainly do.
So that one has just come over out of nothing and just misses and through for the minor score. But that was good pressure, but good defensive work to get numbers back by Hutchins there. It was always going to be a 50-50 shot as it comes out towards the wing position, and University have a chance to go forward again. Here they go. This ball comes up. That's a hard one to mark, and Hutchins have got plenty of numbers back to be able to spoil.
Here's your man.
Yeah, Nimiani picks it up, and nice, he goes that lovely turn.
Oh.
But it didn't matter if it was going to go close to the line, but plucking up the big dukes is Marky Rippon, and Rippon will come back in. You can see there's the new rule where he just sort of sidesteps a couple of metres and runs past. Big spoil again by Hutchins. I think, Mark, that ball entry, if that's the continuance from University, I reckon Hutchins have worked that one out now.
Just getting numbers behind the ball now, aren't they?
They'll get someone behind the ball and punch. I'd like to see them just roll the dice and maybe look laterally and come and try and open up the space through the corridor and get it across the other open side of the ground. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'm sure University are awake up to that one. As Bartelovic has gone inside, and here is the mark by the coach, Matuzek. He's going to go back and have a shot. So he would like to lead from the front here, as it was a lovely play there by Luke Bartelovic, who pushed that ball forward. And here comes Mav. Very experienced player. Would love to slot this one through, as he does. There is your experience as he went back there and slotted that one through for a lovely goal. Of course, the 195 game veteran. He's a cracking fella too, Mark. I had a really lovely chat to him prior to the game. He was very enthusiastic and a really good coach, a really good thinker, student of the game. And you can see here, went back and slotted that one through for a very, very welcome goal for University. And that brings them within 1 point of Hutchins as we check the Brighton's best Bakehouse scoreboard. University 3-3-21 to Hutchins 3-4-22. And again, it's almost like a replica, but on the other sides, Mark, as we alluded to before, isn't it? Where Hutchins have done all the attacking, and haven't been able to really put University to the sword, which is exactly what happened in the first quarter.
Yeah, almost a mirror image, isn't it, from the first quarter? With now Hutchins, University starting to move the ball. Ooh.
Here we go. So it was Aleph to get that one, and that's the one that they need to roll the dice, don't they, Mark? They need to maybe get that quick handball out, and that entry has probably been a little bit too shallow, you know, so they need to maybe take a bounce, 1 or 2 bounces, and get that deeper entry into their 50.
Yeah, I think it's easier for Hutchins to defend that high lobbed ball into the top of the square than it is for a couple of lateral kicks.
I agree. So now ball in dispute. Well played there by Hutchins as it comes forward again. There is Rawlings. So this is the danger ball that comes in quickly. Well played and read there by Batilovic again. He was back and he just arched the back and ran very, very strongly, trying to fight Poyton. Poyton does go the handball. Now the ball is in dispute and it goes across the line. So the boundary line is the winner. Again, very calm, crowd building. It is full capacity. It sold out the game within hours of its release, Mark. So it is a real shame that we couldn't get a few more people in to the hallowed ground here at North Hobart Oval. But the ones that were lucky enough to get a ticket, they will enjoy the game. And I'm sure they're enjoying the first game. Of course, in the first game prior to our coverage, it was the ladies go round. It was St Virgil's who defeated Claremont. And isn't it great to see the big build-up for women's footy, the numbers, Mark? It's getting bigger and bigger.
At all levels of the game, Hoppy. And I noticed that Hutchins have had a huge popularity for their women's footy. I think they've got a...
Well, both of these clubs, as it stands, so the Hutchins girls play in Division 3. They are at top of the ladder and looking very strong, and University are playing in Division 2 and they're already in the grand final for the week after. That ball now comes forward, it comes over the back, and well done by Bramich.
Just what I was talking about. They got, Hutchins have got 2 players now dropping into that corridor there for that lobbed kick into the top of the square that University seem to be doing all the time.
They've set up well, haven't they?
Yeah, they'll...
So they've set up with an extras behind the ball, is what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think they're onto it now.
Okay, so the ball does come in, looking for the big clunk, and there is that predictable punch. But the man with front and centre has snapped that one through. Excellent work by Aleph.
Why change it if it's working?
So they decided to just kick long, and Hutchins had probably the extra man going up for the ball, Mark, as we see here on the Mood Food replay. As the ball comes in, you can see the third man up. So there were 3 Hutchins players who actually tried to defend the mark, but no one was on the ground. And Aleph did a magnificent job to front and centre, clean hands, and turn that one and snap it through for a goal. So 2 in a row for University. And Hutchins were absolutely all over University. They were wearing like a cheap suit, but they just couldn't hammer home the goals in the first part of the second quarter, Mark Baldock.
Wasted opportunities. They get you in finals.
They certainly do. So when the ball is running your way, you certainly do have to make the most of them, which they haven't done. And here come University. They are building with great deal of confidence. It's a long one, comes in the back. There is Aleph again on the ground. This time it is Hutchins through the agency of Cougar who just bludgeons that ball out to get it out of the danger zone. Oh, there is, to be blunt, poor awareness there by Sammy Ferguson. He'll learn from that though, Mark. As soon as you get the ball in a grand final, look at that. He is going to be beset upon. Maybe some lack of talk by his teammates, but you have to be aware that when the ball spills, someone is going to be on you at a great deal of pace. And University, through Davis Cordwell, come back in and fighting hard. Aleph's got his tail up now. Can't quite bring that one in. As you could see him fighting very hard, proving to be a bit of a handful when the ball hits the ground. So
I think the University's midfield are now pressing better than Hutchins. It's just changed in the last 5 minutes.
They're sort of more two-way running, aren't they? They're getting back and then running that ball out as Uni get it to a very dangerous position. That one certainly did take some courage to get under it. Now we can see a strong tackle, I think, held prior to taking possession. And it's going to be a Hutchins free kick. So it is Bramich deep in defence. So nearly 22 minutes gone. And ticking down to that 25-minute mark as it is Capelli. Capelli takes full advantage. As that goes way down, you can hear, I don't know if it's actually gone over. The umpire's gone over. Oh, my goodness, we'll have to look at that in a minute on the Mood Food replay as it's going towards the goals. The umpire's watching it. With all of that, we're going to have to look at that again. I can't believe that ball didn't go over Mark Baldock, but it is a goal to University.
Well, they had 4 goes at it, and they've got it.
Well, I think if you look up in the dictionary, persistence, this is what you're going to get. So let's have a look at this ball, that chaos ball that came in from Capelli. It went back up on here, and just there I thought it was going to hit behind, and it didn't actually go behind. Brilliant smother by the Hutchins defender.
Blue working his backside off there.
And another snap that came in, and it just sailed up and over and through she went. So beautiful play there by University. Just kept at it, kept at it, kept at it. And they have got a very, very nice lead here, Mark.
They certainly have, and it's the game's changed in the last 5 minutes. University's on top, their midfield's on top. I think they're running more. They're winning that 50-50 ball. They are. So I think for Matthew Chugg, the Hutchins coach, halftime cannot come quick enough. This is the times when you are a coach, Mark, you'd love a timeout. You know, you just sort of say, stop the game. I want to come out and just reset. But that's a good mark taken. Oh, it's not a good mark. I think pushed out Ailif. So Ailif now getting that ball in quickly. No times against him. Looking for the big Dukes, and they've got one. Brilliant work there. Just put it in for Gavin Shaw. They looked up at the clock and they knew that time was against them. And Gavin Shaw, the vice captain, has just drifted across the pack. He stood tall, Mark, didn't he? A kick to the top of the square is working for University every time. So now Shaw going back. You can see there he's going to kick from 15 metres. And Shaw has put that one through, and don't you love it when you kick a goal right on the quarter time? It just gives you so much enthusiasm when you go into the break, Mark. It's got the psychological edge now, haven't they? Well, they have, and so you'll see Hutchins, they're going to go race over to collect their thoughts when University are coming in with their tails right up as we just check the scoreboard, which reads University 6-3-39, leading Hutchins 3-4-22. But Mark, that was a terrific second part of that second quarter by University. Didn't they do well? They really, Hutchins had the ascendancy for the first 10 minutes of that quarter, and then University just counter-punched and got back into it, didn't they? Their midfield stood up, and the Hutchins couldn't get it past their forward 50. Very much so. So what changes will you be making if you are in charge of Hutchins? What is your message to the Hutchins boys? Oh, win your own ball, boys. And I'll say it again, I'll keep saying it, if you don't win the middle, then you don't win the game. Although I did see some good signs for Hutchins for their midfield play. I thought the player, I think it's Jordan Hargrave. Yep. He was doing well in the ruck, and I think that's where they need to be, and need to keep winning and setting up around the ball, because those 50-50 balls that University are winning across their half-forward line and across the centre, just killing Hutchins. Very much so. Well, we know they've got the firepower. Rawlings is a very, very strong mark. Hargrave, we know, is a strong mark, and Bastic, who took some crackers.
So they've got the firepower, they've got the game style, the game plan to be in it. At the moment, they're 3 goals light, and that was all because of not taking their opportunities. But ladies and gentlemen, it is half-time here in the Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund Old Scholars Grand Final in the Reserves Division. We hope you're enjoying the game. We are absolutely thrilled here at Duff TV to be bringing it to you. We're going to take our half-time break, and we look forward to you joining us when we return very, very shortly. The free kick.
Oh, absolutely. I love the running on the wing there by Hutchins. So getting to the fall of the ball fast, inside 50 entries. You get it to a 50-50 and you increase your odds of the turnover, well, not the turnover.
From Andrew Downey, the CEO there of My State. So we welcome you, Pants, on board as well. So there'll be many people who won't be able to get in here that'll be watching ball into the boundary line. So nice play as Hutchins picked that one up. Ball in dispute. It's inside the University 50 as they take that quick kick. Looking for a big mark, and gee whiz, the bigger body, and here he is again. I tell you what, this is going to be an interesting challenge. That's, I think, Rumney again, as we see here on the Mood Food replay, Mark. What did you think there of Liam Blue's defensive work?
You get caught behind with someone that's taller than you, guess what the outcome's going to be?
Yeah, I'll talk more on that in just a few moments as Rumney comes in. He has a second shot but you just can't grab them, Mark, like that and throw them aside. So the free kick now will go to Ned Rumney, who we know can kick a goal, but unselfishly has put it to the top of the square as they go up, and that is a cracker of a mark. Well, I wouldn't know that. Mine are just straight down the high diddle. I can always find them because they're off on the ground. Don't get them up in the air too much. As you can see here, a bit of a
falcon. Isn't that falcon? That's what they call it.
Just inadvertently, I think that one copped the Hutchins young man. I think it was
number 24.
Sure. It was it? Okay. Just fair on the old fleet-footed. Worked really, really hard. As you can see, it's now in dispute. Well played by Stockman for University, who he knew, like in all grand finals, you have to have that spatial awareness around you, and here's a big opportunity for Hutchins to break as they kick toward the goal. And how many times, Mark Baldock, do you see that? One team dominate, and then on the quick transition of play, that ball spilled out, and I think it went to Bastic, and he has... Is it Bastic? No, I apologise. It might have been Sayers who's put that one through.
Hargraves one last 4 taps.
Yep.
Hutchins, University got to watch that.
So it's interesting because Douglas, the reigning best and fairest in this division, has come. That's a big mark over the top. We'll have a look at that again on the Mood Food replay. Mark Baldock. Rawlings, he'll be right on the limit. Again, that is tremendous work there on the last line of defence from the University. We've got the cameras all over the ground.
Alec Bastic playing on there.
Gee whiz, that's a beautiful kick and mark, and coming out taking that one is Hargrave. We know he can kick. Now they try and switch the ball as the forwards come out. There is going to hurt. Here it comes. It's a 2-on-1. It went right in the middle towards the University. We can get the hands over the top here. Lovely work. So this one you can put your glasses down. It is Jordan Hargrave who has slotted that one through, and I think what happened, someone behind the ball and punch. I'd like to see them just roll the dice and maybe look laterally and come and try and open up the space through the corridor and get it across the other open side of the ground. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'm sure University are awake up to that one. Bartelovic has gone inside, and here is the mark by the coach, Matuzek. He's going to go back and have a shot. So he would like to lead from the front here, as it was a lovely play there by Luke Bartelovic, who pushed that ball forward. And here comes Mav, very experienced player. Would love to slot this one through, as he does. There is your experience as he went back there and slotted that one through for a lovely goal. Extras behind the ball is what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think they're onto it now.
Okay, so the ball does come in, looking for the big clunk, and there is that predictable punch, but the man with front and centre has snapped that one through. Excellent work by Aleph.
Why change it if it's working?
So they... And ticking down to that 25-minute mark as it is Capelli. Capelli takes full advantage. As that goes way down, you can hear... I don't know if it's actually gone over. The umpire's gone over. Oh, my goodness. We'll have to look at that in a minute on the Mood Food replay as it's going towards the goals. The umpire's watching it. With all of that, we're going to have to look at that again. I can't believe that ball didn't go over Mark Baldock, but it is. A goal to University.
Well, they had 4 goes at it, and they've got it.
Timeout. You know, you just sort of say, stop the game. I want to come out and just reset, but that's a good mark. Taken. Oh, it's not a good mark. I think pushed out Aleph. So Aleph now getting that ball in quickly. No times against him. Looking for the big Dukes, and they've got one. Brilliant work there. Just put it in for Gavin Shaw. They looked up at the clock and they knew that time was against them. And Gavin Shaw, the vice captain, has just drifted across the pack. He stood tall, Mark, didn't he?
That kick to the top of the square is working for University every time.
So now Shaw going back. You can see there he's going to kick from 15 metres. And Shaw has put that one through, and don't you...
Yeah, you're good to go, mate. Cheers. That's so nice.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather.
You guys need a hand?
Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm brewing fire and wine. Need a hand, mate?
Thanks, mate.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer for up here.
Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
Cheers. That's so nice.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather.
You guys need a hand?
Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm brewing fire and wine. Need a hand, mate?
Thanks, mate.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer for up here.
Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
In In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather.
You guys need a hand?
Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm blue and fire and white. Need a hand, mate?
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer for up here.
Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to North Hobart Oval. I hope that you enjoyed your half-time break here in the Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund Old Scholars Grand Final. It is the reserves division that are on your screens, and it is Hutchins who are trailing universities. We just checked the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard. We can see there it is Hutchins 3-4-22 trailing University 6-3-39. So I would have thought, Mark, it'll be crucial for the setup here for Hutchins not to fall any further behind from this situation.
Yeah, I agree, Hoppy. 3 kicks in it, but the next 2 goals are probably going to be the most important for the match. Hutchins have to stay with University in this first 5 minutes. It's absolutely crucial for them.
There's no doubt about that, as the siren has sounded for the start of the third quarter here in the grand final at North Hobart Oval. It is a big, strong tackle there by Hutchins. That's the sort of thing that will get them up and about. And now that ball has been put in dispute. It was interesting as well, one of the chaps that's kicked the 2 goals, Jordan Hargrave, one of the big fellas there for Hutchins. He's a very good basketball, I'm reliably informed as well. That's where he gets the vertical leap. He's a Chargers basketballer.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so Thus the reason why he's got that good vertical leap, and he's good in and around when the ball is close to him as a handball comes back into play. Quickly picked up there by Hutchins, running player in Pageant. Now it's in dispute, right on the wing position. Well played by the University Football Club. They go forward. Almost a strong mark taken. Lovely recovery there, though, by the Hutchins defenders, but it is the ball coming back through the centre of the ground. Sun really starting to come out here. A player is grabbed without possession of the ball, and it'll be a free kick here to Uni. Gee, wouldn't they love to get that first one, Mark? That'll put the cat among the pigeons for them. That'll give them enormous amounts of confidence as they got that goal right on half-time. And there is that kick just dropping in the hole by Gussie Bramich. That was nice.
Oh, I like this. I like this. Off we go. Liam Blue.
That was a lot better, wasn't it? Look at that. That vertical, coming out towards the sideways there instead of going it. That's good transfer of play. We just spoke of Hargrave, the man
Look at that entry.
who plays the two sports, going deep into the attack and looking for the power forward as he came out in Alec Bastic, who can't quite read him. Mark Baldock. That was very, very good play by the Hutchins Football Club.
Yeah, lateral kick on the half-back line. Look at the release that they got from that. And the forward entry, you know, fast, 50-50 ball.
Yeah, it certainly.
I like what I saw there.
They opened up the channel, and very, very good modern-day football there by Hutchins. Just didn't quite get the score, but they've got it inside their 50 as that big, strong leap. That is Hargrave again, really starting to come into his own. Oh, I love those 1%ers. Those smothers there. It was Poynton who was ragdolled.
Yeah, beautiful smother.
And it is now ball in dispute. Here again, umpire just sorting things out. So early stages of this third quarter. Out on that wing position. Held far too long in the tackle there that particular time. That was Tony Lonergan.
Will he go lateral? There's his man running through the centre. Oh, he's ignored him.
He has ignored him, so he's just gone back behind the mark. So this is a much slower entry and a little bit harder to get over the back as well. Played by University. I love that Shepherd. And really forceful attack on that player who was close to the line. As we can see here on the Mood Food replay. Something a little bit going on with there, Mark, you've noticed?
We're just testing the strength of the fence there with the bodies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with 3.5 minutes in this third and championship quarter, that's a rushed kick by Hutchins. Good defensive work there by University.
Hargraves is on top in the ruck. I think it's making a difference.
Yeah, well, Hargrave has got plenty of the ball so far in this quarter. There is no doubt about that as that one comes back to the wing position. University again through the agency of Whitney couldn't quite bring it back in. That's a good strong mark. Playing in front, and this young man here, Lockie Ailiff, I think played with the Kingborough Junior Football Club, now applying his trade at University, is looking quite dangerous, Mark, especially when the ball hits the ground.
Yeah, University really got the edge when the ball's below the knees. Even though Hutchins seems to be winning in the ruck, when it goes to the ground, the University's coming up with it every time.
So nice play there as that was Connor Berry. Good tackle, strong tackle by McShane for the Hutchins team that wasn't rewarded, and the umpire will just come in and throw this one up. I think there's a blood rule here, something just on that Hutchins player. So he's going to have to be replaced here. So a little bit of shuffling goes along as Georgie McShane comes off just to get a little bit of treatment, maybe a bit of Vaseline just to block that one up, a little stitch or two. Here we back as that one's gone very close to the line. And again, it's a bit of an arm wrestle here in the third quarter. So we're 5 minutes in. We play 25-minute quarters here in the reserves division of the Old Scholars. There is no doubt about it that the best two teams have made it to the grand final. As we said at the start, finishing 1 and 2, both on 48 points. Very fit teams. And also when we do cast our eye on the statistics of these players, quite youthful indeed. So some good footballers on display here in the Old Scholars division, as that was all wrapped up. And Sammy Henning isn't going to get anywhere out of that one. So up it goes again. Now you don't mind that change there, getting Hargrave on it, but it's getting a little bit willing there now, Mark, as just quickly that ball comes in, and that's a strong mark. Again, terrific work.
Move it quickly. Move. Oh no, I think he's going to have a shot. Hobby.
Yeah, so Rawlings took a really nice mark. I'm not sure about these kicks. They've had a number from this particular distance, Mark. I think this will be really take a wonderful kick. You can see there, gee, that's a great mark. I love it when a big forward pushes against his man. You can see he went around to get good purchase on it, and that one's gone far too wide. And I think the wily old fox up here in the Peter Sharp Tower has picked that one, Mark. They just need to, maybe instead of going back for that shot, is you even favour someone coming up in the midfield to get the handball then to that bigger entry.
I think so. I don't think they're going to kick him from 50.
Well, so far that has been problematic, hasn't it? So, you know, for that particular distance. So again,
he's a runner.
Handball over. So here's a big chance for University. They take that bounce. Wobbly old kick that they're playing front and centres. They need someone at ground level. It was Worker who was there. And that's a brilliant second effort by Poynton.
He has run 120 metres to get those two possessions. That was just beautiful play.
Certainly was. And quickly getting off the mark. Again, he's right on that 50. You see it there on the Mood Food replay. He covered a lot of ground and mowed Elliot Noy down as it comes in towards that square now. Picking that one up, coming back around. It's edging close to the goals and just off to the side and through for the minor score. And so University with that one for a forward were able to get that one for a shot on goal. So good play by them. The crowd is really starting to build now and getting behind their players as Connor Berry took clean possession of the ball, and just seeing that one over was Henning. And it's really livening up here in the third quarter of the grand final. It is the Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund Old Scholars Grand Final in the Reserves Division. It is the Hutchins Football Club trailing University, but it's a high-pressure stakes game. That next goal will be absolutely crucial to the outcome of the game, as trying to barge their way through was the skipper in Worker. Can't go anywhere. And again, it will be another ball up. Well, it's a really bit of an arm wrestle here at the moment.
Can't help thinking that the team that can get some run off their half-back line, this game will open up, because both teams are pushing up. You know, their backmen are pushing up right into the centre. You know, there's an argument for a lateral kick and a release over the back.
Very much so. Well, very, very vocal crowd. And as the day goes on, with the courtesy of some of our sponsors with CUB here, Mark, I think that crowd will only get a little bit more vocal. There is no doubt about that, as there is Nimiani. Couldn't quite take a clean possession of the ball, so tries to get the handball over the top. Goes in the bottom, and Connor Berry with that big vertical leap was able to just spoil that ball. It's a party atmosphere here at North Hobart Oval.
Festival, it is. A festival.
Yes, it is the festival of grand finals in the Old Scholars division. Absolute cracker of a day. As again, that ball is being brought in. Low scoring in this third quarter.
Have the boys slowed down a bit, or is it just all pressure at the moment?
I think it goes to the latter. It is high pressure. It's almost like no one wants to win. They just don't want to lose. And so they're hanging on at the moment. But any time that both teams look to get it out wide and look laterally, as that's excellent play as Verrill goes in towards the goal. I didn't mind that play. Just the execution wasn't there, Mark. But I like the way he took the game on and ran with that ball.
So Liam Blue looking to release it deep into their half back line.
You can see the midfield worked hard there for University to block that kick across the ground. So they decide to come down the line. It was Berry who gets it out towards Alexander, and it's going to come back with interest. They're looking for the big mark. Where are the small players? It's Verrill at the front, but you can see it's Imyani who wraps him up in the tackle.
Number 0. There was nothing zero about that, was it? It was a beautiful tackle.
It certainly was. And now the umpire just throwing off. So with nearly 11 minutes gone, and Imyani was just besieged by a tsunami of opposition that just washed over him as they attacked him, Mark.
Beautiful metaphors and alliteration there, Hoppy. You've got it, mate. You have got it.
So it is the Hutchins taking possession on that half-back flank. They're being told to play on now, and they do so as they need a strong... come over the back. It's Bastic. Bastic will take this one on. He takes the bounce, and again, the intent was good, Mark Baldock, but just the execution. So you can see here, you know what? I would have loved to see Bastic. He looked in, he had a runner in, just put it to the top of the square.
It's all about good decisions.
And that was lovely dukes by Bastic, but he had the runner inside, just probably needed to do the team thing and put it there for the runners. As again, here come Hutchins. They are surging. They need a goal though now, as that one is flicked over. A good smother, and it will be a boundary throw in. They look dangerous, as that was the time, but as you said, it was just that last kick by Bastic that they came undone. So
just didn't quite back his speed, did he?
Yeah, there was either another bounce or, as we said, just to the top of the square. But anyway, that opportunity has been lost, and they'll work hard for the next one. And this is beautiful play, just backing out of trouble with Harry Black, which comes back to Hargrave, goes back towards the goals, and it is just
a raking left foot kick.
It was, wasn't it? It certainly was a raking left kick, but to no avail. But Hutchins looking a lot more dangerous now. So if they can lock this ball in, Mark, this is what they need to do. They need to score from this bit of momentum that they've got building. So it comes out towards the wing position as
he's gone.
Davis Cordwell comes back inside. That was always going to be dangerous play, as that ball has seen the line. So not a lot of scoring in this third quarter. That said, though, it's a very, very interesting game.
I love the hard bodies and the hard body work that's going on by the midfielders. They're really laying tackles both sides. It's tremendous to watch.
It's almost setting up to see then who will be able to last the distance, won't they, at that last quarter, as we can see Sammy Kenny just coming in to help out his teammate. Just got to temper some of that aggression to really focus hard on the football. And when it's your turn, you put your head straight over, as that's Sayer. He tries to get that ball forward as Noy is there. He gets the give and go. So here comes Noy. I don't mind that kick at all. He kicked it out to the forward running, who hasn't got it. That was, I think, Douglas again. There is your strong play as Noy's errant left arm has come over. And we can just, look at that. Goodness gracious me, as Noy came in very, very hard. And I don't think that player's moved, Mark, as we can just, no, down they go. And that one has been taken very high. And I think that's friendly fire, isn't it? That's a Hutchins man that's down.
Fire. That's unfortunate. He really took a headshot there, didn't he?
You can see there that both players were just transfixed on the football, and they came in very, very hard, as I think while the stretcher is being brought out, and this is, we don't like to see this, but it is a combative game, Mark Baldock, and these are the things that can happen. As you can see, there's a little bit of frustration boiling over, but what Hutchins need to do, very much so, is focus on the ball. I mean, University won't mind a bit of argy-bargy, and if they're concentrating on that, Mark, they won't be able to score. So now I think this young man is going to head it's not, is it Bastic? I'm not quite sure on that. Let's have a look here. But I would have thought that protocols being the case, Mark, that this player will be coming off.
Yeah, I think so. Having taken such a severe head knock there, given the concussion ruling, he'll be off.
All right, so it is Hutchins just taking their time and setting that one up.
Only 2 points in 15 minutes of football, Hoppy. This is the arm wrestle that we thought it was going to be.
Absolutely, and now it is Ruben Nettlefold who ends up with the ball. As Nettlefold is shaping to have a shot now. Here he goes. Deliberate, looking towards the goal. The umpire's moving a little bit to his left. And, yep, it proves to be a minor. So that's a bit of a shame there for Hutchins. As they just went towards that ball, and it has gone through for the minor score. So now University playing on very quickly, coming out towards this wing position, comes back over the top. Here is University, well played by Davis Cordwell, goes back inside. Hutchins trying to claim this one. Ball in dispute. Good tackle.
Very good tackle. That ball was going to come out, and that would have been a goal for University. They had all the numbers around there. Score-saving tackle, that one.
Very much so. So umpire throwing it up. Gets a bit of a tap on that one. That's a better play. Here is Grubb. Slips over at the inopportune moment. You've really got to try and hold your feet if you can. Great surface here at North Hobart Oval. There's been a lot of work done to it and money spent. And the subsurface, Mark, you and I had a good walk around the ground before we started the game, and we were commenting on it, wasn't it? I think it's got about now at least a good metre of sand, so the drainage at North Hobart Oval is fantastic, whereas back in the day sometimes it was a bit of a quagmire. Now we can see the surface is a fantastic standard.
Yeah, I think your comment was, and I agree with it, neither hard nor soft. Yeah. No,
really, really good as Patrick Verrill drives that ball in. Well, it hasn't been down this part of the ground in recent times, so Hutchins are going to have a question or two asked of the forward line of University. It'd be a heartbreaker, wouldn't it, Mark, if all of a sudden Uni, who have had the ball in their defensive area for Hutchins, if they can get it inside their 50 and score, as Mark Rippon just goes way inside, but dropping back.
Watch this, watch this.
Here we go, Henning back over to Liam Blue, goes on his trusted left boot, but didn't dispose of it cleanly. And Uni have played on quickly, although there's been a whistle. That one's gone through. Gee, that was good kick by Albury, but I'm not sure that the umpire's going to allow the play on. Gee whiz, the Uni faithful are not happy with that, Mark Baldock.
Yeah, it's a
well, he's called he changed a bit of mind there. That was 50-50. Well, I'm not going to question the man in green. He's closer to it than I am. But Mark Albury, he's almost kicked 2 goals within a minute, but he didn't quite get that one. So good work by Hutchins to get those 3 defensive men drifting back and touch that one right on the line. So here come the Lions.
Nice kick, Sam Henning, all the way down.
So they need this mark, but good work by Connor Berry. Berry goes the short kick. A little bit too much height in that one. It is in dispute. Hutchins really needing a goal before the 3/4 time siren goes here, as there is Alec Bastic, who's been a really good forward option for Hutchins. Comes back over, working way forward is Douglas, who's dropped down forward. And here is a big chance for them to score, Mark. And they do so through the running play there from Hutchins. And it is Ruben Nettlefold who got out the back. And that will really give them some confidence and brought this game alive.
It was the Hutchins on ballers that won that forward of midfield ball there, that released that so quickly into the forward line, made it look easy.
Douglas did some strong work there, as we can see. Big, strong fellow who got it over the back to the runner there of Ruben Nettlefold, and that has really closed this game up as we check the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, which sees University 6-5-41. Haven't been able to score a goal in this quarter, with Hutchins 4-6-30. So 9 points the difference in the grand final. Each time these two teams have played, Mark, it's been close, and we've got another thriller. So don't go anywhere as it comes inside the 50. And taking a mark there is Sayers, who's already kicked one, and that was really, really nice above the shoulders there. Look at the meterage he got on his defender, and that was a good kick in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Great win in the centre there for Hutchins.
So Alistair Sayers, very deliberate shot on goal, and he has put it through.
Game on, Hoppy, game on here.
It is really game on, as the big crowd that have ventured here to North Hobart Oval are absolutely on their feet. They're up out of their chairs and they are barracking for their two teams. If you are watching us on the live stream via Duff TV, we hope you're enjoying it, because we've got an absolute cracker of a grand final here, which sees Hutchins really making a charge here. They have moved on to 5-6-36 to University 6-5-41.
It's a kick in it.
Well, they are. I love the move there, Mark, of Hargrave into the ruck and Douglas down forward. As here we go again. Hutchins going for almost another cracker mark by Sayers. Couldn't quite bring it in. He's able to get back up on his feet. Well played by him. A bit of pressure as Capelli's there, comes back.
Oh,
they are under enormous pressure.
Such good forward line pressure from Hutchins there. University perhaps a little bit unlucky they couldn't release there. I just noticed how much ground the Hutchins wingman's gaining and making. I think that's, is it Ruben Nettlefold?
Yep.
Just keep your eye on him. He seems to be at the fall of the ball all the time when it's entering the Hutchins forward 50.
Well, certainly did. And so those couple of goals, they were trailing by the 3 and they've got 2. And it has been University have just had the brakes put on their scoring in this particular quarter. And Aleph, who kicked that lovely goal in the last quarter, the ball really hasn't been up there too much, and when it has, they've teamed so well, have the Hutchins defenders, to get that ball out quickly. So here they are, showing some good dominance in this third quarter. Will really give them some confidence. That's a strong tackle. Well played there by Worker. So Worker quickly getting off and now running around. There's been another whistle. Decided that has to go off from behind the mark. And so now it is Worker. He replicates what he did in the first instant as he gets inside the 50. They come out. There is Noy. He gets the give and go as he gets it across to Blue. He goes Hutchins through Noy again. They're starting to get a lot more run and get some confidence as it comes up towards the leading Sayers, who this particular quarter, he has had a cracker. There is Spiro Douglas, who's at the bottom. And that change, Mark, has been really good, with Douglas going forward and Hargrave into the ruck.
Agreed. Agreed. Getting, they're just winning the ball a little bit more around the stoppages, aren't they? Hutchins getting some run on the outside.
Absolutely. So up goes that ball. No one to take it. So Connor Berry decides to just quickly grab it out of the ruck. Diving at it was Davis Corden, who's got to be careful here. She's deemed to be pulling that one in. Here we go. University just trying to eke their way out of defence, because at the moment is a resurgent Lions outfit coming forward with about 30 seconds left. So they've got to be pretty quick to try and get this next goal. Here is the bounce of the ball. Staying down this time was Hargrave, rather cleverly, just roving their own work. It's Aleph quickly kicks this one up towards the forward line, and coming out again is that might be Worker. Worker needs to get that ball working now, and here he goes. Long raking kick. Can they take a mark before the siren goes? It's about. They have.
Beautiful mark.
That is a cracker. This is a repeat of what happened at the end of the second quarter, Mark. it's the same player as well as Gavin Shaw just drifted across the front of the pack. You can see his eyes just looking up to the heavens, kept his eye on the onion, and he's plucked that one in. So, Gavin Shaw against the flow of play for University. They would love this one. Coming back now, we've got a great view of it. That left foot swinging from right to left, and a bit of breathing space for University there right at the end of this third quarter. What a cracking transfer of play. And Mark, the good hands by Gavin Shaw to pluck that one, and he knows his kick. Have a look at that. That ball just drifted from his right to left, sailed right through the centre. So here at three-quarter time, we'll check Brighton's best bakehouse scoreboard, which reads Hutchins 5-6-36 to University 7-5-47. So it was all Hutchins in that third quarter, Mark, who were able to fight their way back, and we just thought for a minute they'll be on level terms. And well, the question was asked of University, and when they got the ball in, a great goal there by Gavin Shaw right on three-quarter time.
To say that final goal of that quarter was important is a massive understatement. It's going to be hard for Hutchins. Scoreboard pressure.
Yep.
I think they gave their all in that quarter. I think they won that quarter. Yep. That last goal is going to be a tough ask for Hutchins to get back. I mean, it's not a high-scoring game, although the conditions out there are ideal for footy today. Hutchins midfield, if they can pull themselves together and get those quick forward entries, we know that the Hutchins forwards will do the job. But University's not going to go away, are they?
Mate, it's just going to come down to the fitness, because if we look across the lines, they've both got people that can take marks, whether it be Hargrave, Nettlefold, Bastic, Sayers, say for Hutchins. They've got really good hands, and Gavin Shaw's drifted across and taken a couple. Worker, you know, so they've got the capacity University as well. So the game is there to be won, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to take our last break here, Mark Baldock. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your opportunity to go and get your cup of tea, but don't go too far away, because this is a cracker of a game. So we're going to be back very shortly for the last quarter of the 2021 Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund Old Scholars Grand Finals in the Reserves Division.
Yeah, you're good to go, mate. Cheers. That's so nice.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather.
You guys need a hand?
Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better, and I'm doing flying away.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer for up here.
Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
Well, it all boils down to this. After a big pre-season, you've done the hard work running in the sand dunes. You've done the extra laps in the heat. You've slugged it through the winter, and coming up to spring with 25 minutes left in your season. And we have got a cracker of a ball game here, ladies and gentlemen. The best two teams going around in the reserves in the Old Scholars, and it is Hutchins just trailing University, and a very, very handy goal kicked by Gavin Shaw, the vice-captain, in the dying seconds of that third quarter, have given Uni just that little bit of a buffer. So they are 11 points to the good here of Hutchins, who really worked hard in that third quarter. I liked the way they made a few positional changes. Hargrave went into the ruck. Noticed that Douglas went down forward, provided a bit of bullocking there. Sayers started to clunk a couple, and also I liked the run of Ruben Nettlefold. So it is all in front of them. Can they come back, or can University hang on? Well, here come the Lions through. Sammy Kenny goes forward, and Douglas has taken that mark. So here is a big opportunity, Mark Baldock, for Hutchins to score the first goal. So it is.
Lovely ruck play there, knocked down by Hargraves. And a quick forward entry. Too much of an angle on this, you think, Hobby?
Oh, he can bring this one around.
He does.
Here he goes. You can see he brings it around. He wobbles it, but it's marked in the square.
Thank you very much.
This will be Sayers, who goes back, and you'd like him from here, Mark. So it is Sayers who goes down, and that is his third goal. And Hutchins have answered that goal from Gavin Shaw, and here come the Lions. Beautiful mark, just caught behind with the University defenders. And we know that Alistair Sayers is a very, very good mark, and now he has gone back and kicked that goal. So that's really tightened up. It is University 7-5-47 in front of Hutchins 6-6-42. So, Mark, it is only 5 points. So that lead has started to evaporate very, very quickly.
Ooh, I'm liking this rucking contest with Berry and Hargraves. You know, they are key. Whoever gets on top will be the difference to this game. The midfield, and here they go.
They are. It is Hutchins. They've got a bit of a wriggle on as came back down to Sam Kenny.
He's dropped it.
That's a magnificent tackle. So Hutchins are certainly growing in stature as the game is getting longer, and they go the short pass. It comes over the back.
Got him.
Good tackle again by Sayers. Well, Sayers, Mark, is doing some magnificent work, not only when the ball is in the air, but when the ball has hit the ground as well.
Aren't the Hutchins forwards aggressive in their defence and their fight for that 50-50 ball? I love to see it.
Very much so. So now the ball comes back in play, comes over the back. Uni under a bit of pressure. They need to just hold that one in, and they do so they can catch their breath and allow the umpire to come in. So Sayers, of course, who in 2021 has had 9 games, very, very crafty forward in the twilight years of his career, and he's had a little bit of calf trouble, but they're certainly holding up today, Mark.
He's doing well, doing well. Experience coming to the fore with Sayers as the ball's pulled back onto the half back line for University.
So that allows now Hutchins to set up in defence, which they have done. So here comes Grubb, comes out towards the tower side, and brilliant
away he
mark.
goes.
That is that vertical leap of the basketballer Jordan Hargraves. Gets the ball back inside Bastick. Bastick eludes one. A quick snap towards the goal, but has gone out of bounds. He's appealing that one was touched, and I think that might be the way the umpire has seen this one, Mark. It might have been touched straight off the boot there of Alec Bastick. So as we see there on the Mood Food replay, as Bastick kicked that ball in, and Now it is play on. Oh, this has come out of nowhere. A quick snap on goal by Kenny, but couldn't bring it back hard enough. But at the moment, these are worrying signs for University as Hutchins are really surging. Comes out, short kick towards Grubb. Grubb getting quickly off the mark. He goes another short, just taking up some time and space. Well played by them. Miller comes back inside. Nothing much on, so he needs to go just down through the corridor. Hutchins just seemed to have a little bit more urgency at the moment, Mark. Would you agree on that?
Yeah, they're setting up quite well behind the ball, and University can't get it past their, the centre wing position at the moment. It's Hutchins midfield really pushing and winning that 50-50 ball.
So it was Hargrave again, just getting a bit of a tap out there towards McShane. Gee, that was lovely hands by Geary. And here we're looking inside. Well played by the defensive work that particular time by Albury, who is trying to shore it up. Comes towards Douglas. He can't quite get the handle on it. He gets the handball across. Front on tackle. And it's going to be ball up. Actually, I love that umpiring there. You know what? I thought that Bastic, he kind of knew that he was going to get that front on tackle. He almost led with the head.
He did duck it, didn't he?
So I think well played by the umpires, and great to see Alec Bastic get straight back up. But you'd expect nothing. He's captain courageous, isn't he? He's just a really, really good player.
Do you think Hutchins are getting the best of the midfield now?
Yeah, they are at the minute, and they look dangerous when they go forward, when it's quick.
Yeah.
So Uni now have tried to plug the hole, and I think Grubb was loose just a few moments ago, but it'll be interesting to see how they position themselves as Hargraves with that look-away handball out towards Noy, running out of room, so they decide to quickly get it in. Here is running player in Goober, who there's been... What's this one called, Mark? I think it was high, and it's going to go to Goober, is it? Who's just on that 50-metre line. He was held in the tackle, and it was just went high. So he's been rewarded now.
He's a good kick of the footy too. He might make the distance here.
He's telling everyone that's where he's going, so I'd like to see him then bring it to the top, which he has done. I like that kick.
Oh.
That's the team kick, and there was Hargrave, but it was Grubb, who is really coming into the game now, Grubb, for University. He's mopped up on a couple of occasions now. So here go Uni, dangerous because it is an open forward line. Who's got the running prowess as it comes down towards Worker. He just belts it out to the open space, but there is Blue, who mops that one up and kicks it out wide, but doesn't get the accuracy needed, as you can see here, trying to hold that one in. The old arm going, not enough, says the ump. And so a free kick to Hutchins. It's always going to be a 50-50, that one, I think. Trying to con the old ump, that one, Mark, to say he was trying to get it out, but he did his own body. And not making enough effort, as you can see here. And holding the ball has been deemed to be the play. And we can see Grubb has come off for a spell. He's done a wonderful job as that loose down back. So can Hutchins profit from the time that he is off the ground? It'll be interesting to see, as fighting very, very hard. So what have we got? We've got 8.5 minutes gone in this last quarter of the Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund Old Scholars Grand Final in the Reserves Division. They go up. Nice work by Connor Berry. Good vertical leap. Hutchins trying to charge their way forward through the agency of David Geary. He was going nowhere, as it was Uni who forced him backwards. To me at the moment, Mark, it seems that momentum is with Hutchins and Uni are just holding on, holding on. That said, they still look dangerous on the quick turnover.
Yeah, there's a lot of space behind the ball, isn't there? And if University can just get it over the half forward line, they're away.
Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching out there on Duff TV, this is going to go right down to the wire. It is great community footy here at North Hobart Oval. The combatants, University v Hutchins, and it is in the Old Scholars Division. And it's a cracker of a final. It's the first of two today, of course. in the next game it is St Virgil's v OHA. So if there's anything to go by, we are in for a wonderful day of football as Nemani forces that one over for a fast approaching Ruben Miller. And again, it is locked in. Well, it hasn't really transpired like we thought, Mark. We thought that it'd be a lot of outside running, but it's been held in close into these pack after pack after pack, hasn't it? It's just no one's backing down or allowing the open, free-flowing footy to get out there.
I think your description of the game earlier on, rugby league-esque, you know, in heavy bodies battering each other.
So it could come down to the last few minutes who is going to roll the dice and try and quickly flick it to that outside, and who has got the capacity to run over the top. One passage of play of brilliance from one team could just be the difference between the two teams today. It has been a very, very close encounter, and one man that has put his hand up and said, I'm here to play, is Hargrave for the Hutchins Football Club, as that one has come forward, but just a little bit over. But it's
Sam Henning, I think, did that. Yep.
Getting close up, as that's another behind to Hutchins, and they move within 3 points of University, as we can see there on the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard. 7-5-47 to Hutchins, 6-8-44. University clinging on to this lead. Comes back over the Packers. Almost shaped to see that was too high. There was...
I think the umpire a little bit unsighted there.
But no prior. And again, hats off to our umpires today, Mark. Maybe that one could have gone a bit too high, but gee, it's been a wonderful standard, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Done a tremendous job.
We've got the creme de la creme running around out there now as it spills down to Henning. Henning quickly brings that ball back into the corridor area. Uni have got numbers back. They are certainly got their finger in the dike and wondering if these damn walls will open up for Hutchins, but they are just not going away, Uni. They have got the lead and they are holding on, and here they go now for another assault on their forward line. It is in the back line now. Long, beautiful, big kick.
Oh, University had a couple of heavy markers in there.
Here they go, and there was one of them, the normally who gets it across to worker, but the brilliant smother, the 1%ers by Gussie Bramich as they come back inside. He evades one. Talking of great tackles, well played by Sean Worker, the captain for Uni, in here in the reserves. They go up high. Ball's in dispute. You can sense it now, Mark. You can feel it. You can hear it. It is grand final. It's coming to the crescendo. It is coming down to about 12 minutes to go here. And who is going to wheel their way to lift the trophy aloft here at North Hobart Oval?
It's who wants it the most now.
Very much so. It's sometimes it mightn't be quite so pretty. It's just who is going to wheel themselves over the line, as it's going to be a free kick here to Hutchins and Sammy Kenny. Kenny goes in. Not a great kick, but it's a chaos ball. Who's there at the bottom? I think that comes out towards Hutchins, but there is Capelli under enormous amounts of pressure. Douglas goes back inside. Could have been taken high. Bastic, he said he's ducked his head, comes into the square, looking for the front and centres. There's men calling for the ball. Comes out now towards Sayers. He's dispossessed. Quick snap on goal. I think that was Ellis, and it's through for the minor score.
I'm glad they did that. I was holding my breath for about a minute.
Well, we can see here, Mark, on the Mood Food replay, as that ball just dropped there for William Ellis, but through for the minor scores. So now Hutchins have edged ever so closer, 2 points behind. So they are hanging on. A University hasn't been down in their forward line as the big man goes up. I think that was Shaw over the back. Gone the wrong way. There is Grubb, who's come back on. That was much needed, as he's been such a good defender. And now Uni through. Aleph has taken a strong mark. He decides to play on. Plenty of space down here, looking for a mark. It comes over the back, and they've got possession now, Hutchins. Well played by them. They come out to this open side. Where are the runners? How are the numbers? Quickly goes onto that left boot, getting valuable meterage now. Well played there. Brilliant run down tackle by Henning. And Henning has not been rewarded that particular time as Davis Cordwell picked up that ball. And what a rundown. That's the sort of thing that can inspire a football team, Mark Baldock.
It certainly can. And aren't they both teams bringing the pressure game? They're out on their feet at the moment. There's a lot of tired bodies out there, but no one's giving an inch.
They certainly aren't. That was Lonergan who picked up that one as he handballed, trying to gain a couple of metres, looking for someone to run. And you look over the ground here, Mark, and it is man-on-man football. So there's no zoning. It is just when you get the ball, you know that someone is going to come right on you. So Harry Black quickly goes inside. Here is the front.
He stood up. Oh.
Sayers quickly goes towards the goal, and that one has hit the post. Yes. And now Hutchins have moved to within 1 point of University. Wow, we really do have a fantastic game of football here at the North Hobart Oval, Mark.
Death by 1,000 cuts here today.
So that one wasn't taken. Hutchins have another opportunity to go forward. It is Noy who picks it up. Noy goes long towards the goal. It's very, very close. They need to keep this one in. They do so, but to the advantage of Hutchins, who have swooped on it.
Oh, Sam Henning throws him aside. Oh!
Just kicks that one, and it is gone through. So, Mark Baldock, the scores are level here at the North Hobart Oval as we check the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard. It is University 7-5-47 to Hutchins 6-11-47.
What a cracker of a game, Hoppy, we have.
We are inside the last 10 minutes of the game, Mark. So it is Uni. It is Hutchins who are surging but just cannot find. It's almost like Uni are on the ropes and they're being punched and punched. And here they go again. It is Andrew Hudson who goes towards the goal. And finally, Hutchins have got their noses just in front. But as I was saying, Mark, it's almost in boxing parlours. Uni are against the ropes and they're taking blow after blow. But Hutchins could just not land that final punch. So they are hanging in there, University. So they go directly down the middle of the ground. It is deemed over the front, and here they go. They still look very, very dangerous.
It's one of those counter-punching goals that University are looking for, aren't they?
Very much so. So it's Davis Cordwell.
Here we go. Release out wide. That's what they want.
Very much so. So it was a good kick by the 20-year-old who's played 18 games this year, was Davis Cordwell. And again, mate, that is the awareness of the situation. As soon as the ball came out to Timmy Reynolds, we knew that he was going to be under the pump. And once you fumble, those metres gains with the Hutchins players just surged at him. And that was good play by the Hutchins defenders. And look, they are, every time Uni pick the ball up, there's not just one, but there are two Hutchins players just coming forward for those tackles. So good tap out.
Gee, that's a good rucking contest between those two.
It was. Ball comes back in. Douglas coming straight out. You can see providing some bullocking. This is a dangerous ball.
Oh, you're joking.
If that ball's been touched, there's been an appeal to say it has. No, he said it's gone through.
Off. Yep.
Well, no, it has been called all clear. As we'll just have a look at this one on the Mood Food replay. As this was Douglas again who came in, and it was kicked in here by George McShane. End over end.
Oh,
and unbelievably, that has clean bowled through, almost like through Simpson's gap, through the high diddle.
The unplayable ball, look at that.
It was almost like Gatting coming forward at Trent Bridge, wasn't it?
Oh.
Missed it completely by the Shane Warne. Wrong and whack straight through. A late appeal saying, please, sir, I touched that one, but nothing to be had as we check now the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, which reads Hutchins, 7 goals, 12-54. In front now of University, 7-5-47. Mark Baldock, what a thriller.
A handy 7-point lead to the old Hutchins Football Club.
They are surging. They have really lifted. It was that late goal by Gavin Shaw for University that gave them that kick on goal was a cracker, but it has been all Hutchins really, because that's the only goal that they've kicked in the second half so far, Mark.
Is that right?
So now here is Aleph. Aleph brings back towards the goal. That's gone right across and out of bounds, but you can see the urgency there from Aleph. As soon as he got the ball, he burrowed in and tried to, when he lifted his eyes, come back towards the goals. So now, just taking their time is Liam Blue.
I can't help thinking that Hutchins has frittered away their opportunities and that University's still got another couple of scores in them.
I agree. So it is Blue who just goes down. There is Hargraves, who got up early before acceptances. Was that...
Here we go.
It is Hutchins.
Look at the runners. Half back, off they go.
Really leading, aren't they?
Yep.
So
willing.
Now comes straight down towards the wing. It's going to come back if they don't spoil. It was Sayers who went back in, who unfortunately on that particular line dropped it, just seeing it over the line.
Bit lucky there, because he did throw it on the boot and missed it, didn't he?
Well, the one thing now with no time on, Mark, that the clock that is ticking down with all but 4 minutes to go is in the favour and friend of the Hutchins team, in that they got that 1-1 lead. So they'll be fighting and they won't mind. So it is Uni tried to take possession of the ball through point and he can't do so. So here is Sayers. Sayers drives the ball looking for someone to mark. They can't do so. They've got plenty of players coming for extra support. They need to get this ball moving now. Well played by University as they clear it, and a mark is taken by Miller. No time to spare. Quickly get it onto the boot.
Nice defense.
Need another mark. That is Workman, who's beaten to the ball on this particular time. Well played by Gus Bramich. Defensive work.
That was very good by Bramich then.
It was good. So now boundary throw in. Nearly to the 22-minute mark. Good ruck play. Harry Black is at the bottom. And so Uni, they need to get back. Well played by Grubb. Quickly getting off the mark. Grubb goes back inside. Sells a little bit of candy. Nice long kick. Up they go, but coming across the Leo Barry style. That has just taken a very, very nice mark here in the grand final.
Now, do they slow it down, Hutchins, now with 2 minutes to go?
They decide to go to that outer side. They're running in numbers now, Mark. Look at them. Every time you see the ball hit the ground, there's 2, 3, 4 Hutchins players getting close to the line, and well played by them. They have just been irresistible the way they've come back in this second half. They've just been an immovable force. It's almost like University have just been hanging on, and then finally Hutchins just got in front, and they are playing some very, very good footy. Well played there again by Hargrave. Gets it forward. Hutchins with another opportunity. There is Bastick. Comes over the back towards Sayers. Dispossessed, but again going towards the goals, and it's gone over the line. So 2 minutes left in this grand final, and it is Hutchins with a very, very handy lead at this stage. That 7 points is just so crucial, isn't it?
Makes all the difference. They've got to get it 2 forward 50 entries, at least.
So now you can see pressure being applied. It comes back towards Douglas. Douglas goes over towards the goals, and again it is down the right end if you are a Hutchins supporter. Throw through for the minor score. University take possession of the ball at full back. Ready to kick this one in. You can see that they've got plenty of players. It is just man on man now as they kick towards that wing position. Douglas just overruns that particular one, and there at the bottom is Bosworth, and ball is in dispute. And again, the umpire will come and throw this one up. Well, we've had a very, very good start to the day with a highly entertaining game of football here in our first grand final of the day. There is Ruben Nettlefold, quickly picks it up, goes back in to get it again. Well played here by Uni. They just not giving up, although I think time will probably beat them, unfortunately, for all our friends out there who are supporting the University Football Club. Comes back inside, leading to it. Well played, good tackle, fighting right towards the end. A bit of a kick in hope, as the siren has gone here. It has gone. And Hutchins have gone back-to-back in the Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund Old Scholars Reserves Division, which sees Hutchins 7-13-55 to University 7-5-47. And just looking up there, it says 24-39, which is pretty much where we got it. But Mark, it was just tremendous work by Hutchins, who surged from the second half to get themselves within striking distance. It was Gavin Shaw who took a beautiful mark drifting across the pack to kick University's only goal, but give them that good lead. But they just never gave up attitudes that saw them get across the line.
Yeah, I think, you know, that last quarter, Hutchins just started to win the ball around the contest and get a bit of release and running release outside of the stoppages, and that made all the difference for the forward line entries. And you know, don't take anything away from University. They came to play and they came to win, and it was just I think they were just outlasted.
They were, weren't they?
Yeah.
There was no doubt about that. They needed the siren to go just that bit earlier. They were so stoic, but unfortunately for them, they just did not get over the line. So just looking down here, it was Shaw got a couple, and Aleph, Worker and Rumney. Some of the better players. Aleph didn't stop playing. Shaw was so dangerous when he drifted across the pack time and time again. The skipper, Sean Worker, provided a great target down there. Tate, Capelli, Rumney, another one who looked really dangerous, and their on-baller, Davis Cordwell. Mark, what about you for Hutchins?
I really like Liam Blue's game in the back line today.
I agree.
I think he's obviously an intelligent footballer. You know, when he wasn't getting a possession, I could see him moving and defending and thinking about where he's going to be. I really like Ruben Netterfold's run today. I think they got a lot of return on investment out of his game and his both attacking and defending wing game. I thought Sam Henning, especially you know, his last half, I think they must have moved him on the ball. He started to win some of that inside ball and be an option, and his long kicking really came to the fore with the forward line entries. Spyros Douglas, you know, his presence on the forward line made so.
Thanks, Stewie. Joined out on the ground with the victor.
So we
Matthew
might go down and we'll have a listen to, I noticed Kenny Anderson's down there on the ground, and listen to some of the festivities. So while the presentations go on, Mark, you and I'll take our break, but everyone else will keep that coverage going, and we'll have a little break as far as our commentary is concerned, and we'll go down to the ground and we'll be back with the senior grand final very shortly.
Were enormous all day. In fact, both sides, their half-back lines were terrific, but your last quarter, you held Uni scoreless. It was a wonderful effort.
Yeah, we just stuck at the plan. We knew that we had the legs. We've been training hard. For a reserves team, we trained very, very hard physically, and knew that we'd run on top of the ground in the last quarter. And we always believed, even at half-time, we never thought we were out of this game. And we always, when we was in the sheds, we thought we were going to win, and we have. So, great result.
Just hold with me for a minute. Patrons, a reminder that players and officials only on the ground. Could I ask you to leave, please? Non-officials and non-players, if you could leave the ground, please. We're about to do the presentations. Yeah. Anyway, all right, you say it.
I'm not going to.
Right. Folks, just a reminder, players and officials only. Don't ruin it for the players. It's their day, let them enjoy it, and let's not break any COVID rules. Thank you. Back with Matthew Chugg, the victorious coach of the Hutchins reserve side. A lot of good winners all over the ground, but a live wire forward, Alastair Sayers.
Yeah, he's one of our club veterans, Alastair, and he's played north of 150 games, and most of those in the seniors, but he's come back to play twos this year, and he was magnificent today, I thought.
You can bet that. He was magnificent. But the bloke that took my eye was Georgie McShane. Were you happy with him?
Yeah, George, a good boy. He's had a bit of injury worries, but he's back with a couple of shoulder injuries, but he played well today and struts his stuff. He's always hard at it and a player that we all look up to, that's for sure.
Well done. Let's go to the presentation.
Thank you.
And just... Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund Old Scholars Football Association, welcome once again to North Hobart. Just a reminder, we don't want to harp on this, but the COVID rules are pretty strict and we're trying to keep our island free of that insidious disease. So just abide by the rules if you wouldn't mind. Thanks very much. You turn your attention to the ridges side of the ground. The presentation of the reserve grade premiership medallions and trophy will be made. Good roll up here today. Give them a good cheer too, because it was a hell of a good game. Both teams played in good spirit. Uni, don't be disappointed with your effort, fellas. You were fantastic today and just met a better side on the day. Well played, Rainbows. Importantly, the match was played in good spirit. I'll now call on Chuggy to present his players. Well done, son.
Thank you. Back to back. Right.
Thanks, Chuggy. Well done to Hutchins. Thanks very much to the uni blokes. Just every club person here, make sure you thank your volunteers, the people that keep the clubs going. So well done to them. Well done to Hutchins. Number 34, Harry Black, I think it is.
Okay. Okay, no water. Sam Ferguson. Jordan Googa. Googa? Just stay right. David Geary. Gigeland. Nindi Nani. James Pageant. Liam Blue. Dominic Rawlings. James Black. Will Ellis. Sam Herring. George McShane. Max Dennehy. Ruben Bold. Gus Bramich. Andrew Wilson. Elliot Noy. Spiros Douglas. Jordan Hargrave. Sam Kenny. Harry Black. Alistair Sayers. And our team captain, Alec Bastig.
Assistant coach Shane Burberry.
Okay.
Coach Chug Ball. Ladies and gentlemen, Hutchins Football Club. Let's clear them.
On a sad note, we recently lost a revered life